The LGBTQ plus rainbow community must add a P, according to the World Economic Forum in Davos, which has declared that paedophilia is an acceptable sexual orientation that deserves respect. According to Klaus Schwab and his globalist cronies, paedophiles must be added to the protected class of citizens in Western countries, who identify as LGBTQ and enjoy the benefits of hate crime protection. Under Schwab's directive, in countries including Trudeau's Canada, anybody found guilty of insulting a paedophile could face 5 years to life in prison. Schwab boasted that the WF had completely infiltrated the Canadian government, and now we're seeing what that dystopian vision looks like in reality. The Daily Telegraph reports that Trudeau is seeking the power to imprison Canadians who the government suspects might commit a hate crime in the future. The thought crime policy will form part of Trudeau's far-left fascist online harms, which cracks down on any opposition to the regime's authoritarian agenda. One of the measures within the bill would grant the power to place individuals under house arrest and force them to wear an electronic tag if the state believes that the individual might commit a hate crime in the future. But it gets even worse. Wait until you hear what the WF-infiltrated Canadian government considers a hate crime. Hint, it involves hurting their feelings by using nasty words to describe the WF's protected class of people. This appeals to the WF and their vision of destroying the family unit and depopulating the earth. The WF, which has ordered their army of influencers to begin pushing the narrative, wants to introduce an international policy that will require the majority of countries to decriminalise or at the very least relax their laws against paedophilia.
Most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles. But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them. But we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
As though that wasn't disturbing enough, other WF influencers are convincing their followers to accept and cherish paedophiles as valuable members of society with unique gifts and insights due to the suffering they go through every day.
Yes, from an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society. However, it doesn't make sense. And that's because we're talking about biology. We're talking about a sexual orientation. So it's not practical to eliminate these people from society. They haven't done anything wrong.
Raping and torturing children and ruining their lives does not equate to doing anything wrong, according to the global elites. But insulting paedophiles and other protected species could result in decades in prison in Canada and other Western countries. It's only when you delve into the deep reptile brain of the psychopathic elite that their depraved logic can be understood. The movement to normalise paedophilia is succeeding. Parents were outraged as footage emerged of children aged 9 and younger being paraded around the streets wearing burlesque-style lingerie, nipple shields and wigs, with rainbow pride flags attached to their backs. Meanwhile, in Germany, the government are considering proposals to open body exploration rooms for young children who wish to explore their sexuality with adults. The New York Times, always at the forefront of the globalist agenda, ran an op-ed arguing that paedophilia is not a crime. Not to be outdone, CNN countered with an article proclaiming that paedophiles are not monsters or social deviants living in the shadows. According to CNN, it's high time for society to update its image of paedophiles. CNN followed up this article with an even more explicit call for sympathy. According to CNN, we should reach out to them and seek to understand child rapists. Salon also got in on the act, urging us to meet and accept so-called virtuous paedophiles who supposedly want the best for our children. And the BBC, which spent decades covering up for Jimmy Savile, Britain's most notorious paedophile, also wants us to think positively about so-called new paedophiles. The movement has made its way to Congress now too. The elite's fascination with crimes against children confuses many normal people who can't find it within themselves to understand such depraved tastes. The elite are determined to defeat God.
Because one of the things I asked him is, I said, I get it, but I don't get it. The children, you got to, I have such a problem with this You got to explain this one to me. And he said, well, first of all, you're looking at it the wrong way. They look at it completely differently. And I said, well, okay, so how do they look at it? And he said, for them, everything is defined by their one fundamental, all-consuming purpose. I said, which is what? He said, to defeat God. For them, it's about the real God. The true gods are them and Satan, there, right? And so he said, children are the closest thing on earth to God, because we are created in the image of God. And as you know, from the moment we're created, we haven't had time to be corrupted and to stray. So for them, the younger you are, the closer you are to God, the more pain they can inflict on God. So the more you can make a baby or a small child suffer, the greater your victory over God. And that is the only consideration for them.
Lara Logan's words should be taken very seriously. While they may be shocking to many, her words are, if anything, an understatement. They are waging a spiritual war against our children that shows no signs of abating. The reprobates have now unveiled a new flag to further their push for the normalisation of their vice, as they continue to push for civil rights for paedophiles. Watch your children and keep them safe.